What is going on, guys? This is Youngblood here, and today is going to be a little bit different of a commentary. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about, my life and my past experiences. I grew up in a very countrified area. I was an only child, and I didn't have any brothers or anything like that. I didn't have any siblings. The closest person that was of age as me is my cousin, which we're only a year apart, and then my uncle, which is 5 years apart. Growing up, I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house because my parents worked two full time. Well, my dad worked two full time jobs, so I really didn't see him much of my life throughout the years. Um, I, I, my uncle was a very close person to me, just because of how close an age that we were. He looked out for me and I looked out for him. He taught me a lot of things that a brother should do because he should know, because he was the youngest of four of the brothers. He Me and him did a lot of wrong things in our life, and we just, we got into trouble. He got in a little bit more trouble than what I did. He actually took the fall for me for some things, so that I wouldn't end up going to juvie like he did. He spent a couple years in juvie, um, and he took basically the fall for me of things that were going down. Um, I That happened probably about around the age of 13. So once that happened, I felt really bad about it, and I got kind of rebellious about things. I didn't really care because it really hurt that he was gone. Because once he was gone, I really didn't have anybody in my life. Really didn't talk to my parents. I didn't have that close a relationship after that with my mom, because I am somewhat of a mama's boy. And like I said, I don't get things all the time. I get things every once in a while. I dropped out of high school at the age of 17 to because I wasn't feeling school anymore, and I have a ADD condition. Doesn't really affect me too much now in life now, because I've learned how to cope with it. Y'all might be able to notice it a little bit in my commentaries, how I just babble on about things or kind of get sidetracked about things, or if I'm actually sitting in front of my computer and watching the videos going on in the background, I kind of lose focus, and that's all part of ADD. Um, I got married a little bit further on in my life. I got married whenever I was around 18. Um, I have a son. His name is Andrew. He just turned 10 March 28th. He was about 2 years old or so, I think, whenever me and my ex-wife got divorced. Um, so I used to get him every other weekend, but now that I'm living in Virginia, I've been in Virginia for about 4 or 5 years now. Um, I haven't really seen him that much, just because I've been, up here in Virginia, and it's kind of hard to go back and forth. It's been over a year now since I've actually seen a lot of my family, just because, me living in Virginia and the job that I have. I have a pretty good job, but it's just an issue fact is I have to pay child support and take care of him. So I really don't have that much money to, fly around, or throw around, or whatever you want to say. So, I don't really make anything off of these YouTube videos, just because I don't have a partnership with anybody or anything like that. I just appreciate y'all watching my videos and, showing likes and stuff, and showing me that y'all actually enjoy my videos. Later in life, I do plan on, or later on in the years or something like that, not really life, but later on in the years, hopefully I can get a little bit bigger and have a nice pardon me, have a nice subscriber base, and be able to, make a little bit of money off of this, because it'd be nice just to have a little bit of a secondary income coming in. Because, every bit of life helps, because the economy just sucks. I know I got off topic, and that's part of my ADD, but going back to what I was talking about a little bit, I'm not one of the spoiled boys, or that mommy and daddy give him everything. I've worked for everything I've ever had in my life. Um, I don't get anything to ask for, and I don't ask for anything just because I'm the type of person that I don't like asking for things. I don't like asking people for things. I'd rather either have it or not have it. I don't have to have certain things. I work for what I get, and that's how I've always been because my parents have taught me that whenever I was growing up. My parents had a really hard time in their life, so it just, it taught me different things. Um, as of right now, I am engaged to a very special woman. Her name is Dawn. We've been together for over a year now, and April 13th was actually a year. It was our 1 year anniversary. Um, so, she's somebody very special in my life. I was with another woman for about 3 years, but it was just a miserable 3 years of my life. It was just, it was just really, really bad. Um, I have had a lot of downs in my life in the past about 4 or 5 years. I've lost my aunt. I've lost my uncle. I've actually lost one of my grandmothers as well. So, past couple years of my life has been really hard and it's been really down. Cancer is just a bitch. Like honestly, cancer is one of the worst things that has ever came to in this world. Um, and it really takes the loved ones that you like really away from you. Um, it's just cancer is just one of the bad things. Um, a little bit more about my life whenever I was growing up. I did spend a lot of time. I did spend a lot of time for about I'd say about 2 years, maybe 3 years. I did smoke pot. I didn't do any other drug. I still to this day smoke cigarettes. I've been smoking now for a while. I don't suggest anybody who smokes to do so because it is just a really, really hard thing to stop. Because generally, whenever you stop, your stress tolerance goes way down just because you're being deprived of that nicotine, and it's a really hard thing to do to stop, and it's very frustrating because it's like $6 every 2 days that I'm spending on a pack of cigarettes when I could put that money towards something else. But it's one of them dumb mistakes that I made when I was younger, and I'm still paying for it these days. Yeah, there's patches, there's pills, there's gum, there's all that other stuff. And I've tried a lot of them. I've tried electronic cigarettes and stuff like that. I've tried to quit cold turkey, and it's so hard. And that's one of the things that I just can't stop. When I was when I was 17 and 18, I had my own truck, so I spent a lot of my time uptown. This is our slang. It was uptown because where I grew up at was a very small town. Not a lot of people. Everybody pretty much knew everybody. Not a very lot of places to work. So whenever I had my job, I actually worked for a dealership. And great, my fiance is calling me. Yeah, hold on for just 1 second. Hey,
Hey.
are you on break?
Yeah, why?
Because I'm trying in the middle of doing a commentary. It's like my second time doing it.
Alright.
Um,
Okay.
you want me to call you back in a few minutes? Because
Yeah.
I only got a little bit of time left.
Alright.
Alright, love you.
Love you too.
And speaking of fiancés, that was my fiance. I am fortunate enough to be able to work with my fiance. We both work at the same place. That's kind of how we met. Like I was saying, she's very understanding about what I do. She's kind of okay with me playing video games. Sometimes she does fuss a little bit because sometimes I do play a little bit too much. So I do take little breaks here and there, and that's a lot of times why I don't see as many uploads. Is because I'm trying to balance the YouTube life out with I'm trying to balance the life with her out. So back to what I was talking about with going uptown and drinking. I used to go uptown, and there was the people that I used to hang out with was a lot older than me. So like every weekend, I used to drink, and there was a couple times I actually got heavily drunk. And no, I did not. Well, you could say drinking and driving, but like I would literally like if I had to, I did have a curfew because being an only child, so my mom used to look out for me. She didn't want me to be doing bad things, which I did do bad things. She probably knows about them, but she probably don't. So mom, if you ever run across my commentary, I do apologize for some of the things in the life that you're just finding out about now. um, but there was a couple times that I got really hammered, and then it was probably about my curfew was like midnight or something like that, I think, or midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. She's like, because the reason why is because she's like, nothing ever good happens after midnight, and she's kind of right on that. But it's just, and nowadays kids stay out 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and look at the way things are happening now. Nothing really good's happening out of it. I mean, granted, not everybody does bad things, but there is a good portion of people who do a lot of bad things, and then there's just, I believe in disciplinary rules because a lot of these kids nowadays, they don't have that discipline. So because they don't have that discipline, um, because they don't have that discipline, they do whatever they want to, and that's why a lot of kids nowadays get a lot more trouble. But it used to, whenever I got really down or whatever, or really drunk, or not really really drunk, but whenever I caught a bus and I was uptown, we used to sit at a empty lot that was right next to a gas station. So once that happened, what I would do was I would walk across the parking lot or whatever, and I usually would get a cup of coffee and a Mountain Dew, and I would drink both of them, and then I would just sit around and eat something and just sober up a little bit. So by the time I left there and drove home, there was the alcohol there, but I wasn't like buzzing real bad. It was just, a slight buzz. So, I never got in an accident. I never hit anybody. I never got pulled over. I never caught a DUI because I was actually kind of smart about it. There was one time that I got extremely drunk, and I ended up having to call my mom and telling her that I was staying over at a friend's house because it was just real late and I was real tired. I didn't tell her that I was drunk. I could keep a lot of things from my parents because, being an only child, and I had to work for everything I had to, but my parents were really, really strict on me and really enforced a lot of things just because they were always trying to look out for me and trying, to do what was best for me. How much longer do I have on this commentary? About 4 minutes. So I didn't do a whole lot of bad things. I didn't do that much stuff. There was a couple times I actually directly disobeyed my parents and did some things rebellious against them. But I'm gonna tell you like this, you don't realize how much your parents mean things to you until you actually move away from them. My mom used to always try and dictate things over me and just try and enforce things on me. Even when I was married, she was always trying to rule my life. And it actually took me moving away from there for her to actually chill out a little bit and stuff. And I don't even talk to my parents that often anymore. I talk to them about every once in a while, and I really should talk to them more, especially my grandparents, because they're doing really bad now. But it's just, I'm the type of person that really doesn't like talking on the phone. No, and also, you can tell by my commentaries, I just really don't. I don't like talking about a lot of things in general just because it brings up a lot of past memories, and I get really depressed, I guess you could say, about it because it's really hurtful to actually think about. Let's see, I'm not too sure what else to talk about. Even now that I'm 30 years old and I work a full-time job, I'm still struggling a little bit in my life. I work for a good place, but I have to pay my child support. So, I lose X amount of dollars on my paycheck. So, there is times that I don't have money, and it's really hard and it's really stressful. My fiance stresses a lot more than what I do, but it's just, it's one of the factors of life. But as y'all heard, I really need to call her back because she is on her break, and I do have to work today, but it's not till a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my commentary right here, and just hope you guys enjoyed the last little bit of the gameplay. Also, I'm at around 89 subscribers. So if y'all could suggest this video to other friends or my channel to other people and try and get my channel a little bit bigger, I think I will be doing another giveaway around 100 subs. I did do a giveaway before. I gave one dude a PlayStation Network card, and I tried to get another guy PS Xbox card, but he never replied back to me about it. So I guess he honestly really didn't want it. So it is what it is. As y'all can see right now, we're at 318 and they only have 40 tickets left. Like I said, we usually decimate whenever we got everybody together in the Death Clan. So we always really do pretty good. But you know, if y'all appreciate this commentary, just please drop it a like. Um, drop it a like, comment, rate, favorite, whatever you want to say. Just because it is, you know, it is kind of hard for me to do things like this because, you know, it's really hard for me to do them. But just enjoy the last few minutes of this commentary, and this is Youngblood, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Deployment, yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, see, they were sitting there with soap lamps and shit. So oh, that's grateful. Grateful tried to ram us. We ain't gonna make it. Yeah, Grateful was in a jet. He tried to ram us in a chopper. She did. He went 10-0 after like.